All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, since YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. You know, I am of the mind and of the very serious mindset. The reason why we continue to keep making the same mistakes over and over again is because we refuse to know what history says. I mean, think about it. There is a lot of history behind us. And if we continue to keep ignoring history, we're going to make the same mistakes. I don't care what area of life you center your attention on or focus on, whether it be social, political, or economics. It makes no difference. If you ignore the things that has gone on in the past, you are destined to repeat the same mistakes again today. And what I personally want to do is to learn everything I can about history that concerns me and all the people that are listening to me as their pastor and in their care, so we can minimize the mistakes that have been made. Like I said before, if you look at this world, you look at the powers that be, it's no doubt that the Europeans are in control of the whole entire world. And they have learned from the mistakes of the past. You know, when you have wars, like for instance, World War I was an industrial war. And men went and died, not because one country was actually acting belligerent against another, or all this other stuff like we're told over and over again. This all has to do with business. It all has to do with business. And I know that many of you hate to hear it, but the United States of America is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation for business. And you have to understand the president of the United States is the president of the corporation, just like you have a vice president, and then you have all the other cabinets and everything else is going on. And while many of us are under the illusion that we're in an American country, fighting for the rights of the Americans and for the people of America and all this other stuff, these people have a total different mindset. And you need to hear me. When you go to these courts, you know, lawyers are just, you know, they're officers for the courts. Do you understand? And there's a process that goes by. And that's the reason why today it does not make any difference whether it's right or wrong. We live in a system of bribery. Do y'all hear me? We live in a system of bribery to where that, hey, you can just about get off of any crime that you've done if you've got enough money. And you can't even enter that system to get so-called justice if you don't have any money. And it's just a sad situation. So we are a nation that accepts bribes. We're not interested in truth. We're not interested in justice. And if you know these things, you can start preparing yourself, your homestead, and developing a type 360. You look at these churches out here today. They're not there. They're not there for your best interest. They're there to make a profit off you. The more bodies come in, the more they get the profit. They're not interested in your welfare, your general welfare, your self-well-being, or your families. Not at all. Not at all. To the contrary. But, you know, I can go on and on and on and on. I think more than anything what I'm trying to say in this video is that I know it's a strenuous thing, and most people will never do it because it's just too strenuous to do. But some of us, we have the responsibility of a lot of people who rely on our wisdom. They rely on our experience in life because they can't get it anywhere else. The system has lied to them. Their families have lied to them. And most of them, you have to understand, a lot of times when families lie to you, it's because they chose to ignore it. I mean, you ought to see the natural family member all of them, who we have told what they need to do in order to live a quality life. You know, I can't tell you how many reports I hear. Now, I hardly ever hear any reports from my side of the family, but on my wife's side of the family, I can't tell you how many reports I constantly hear and see that, you know, we told these people what to do. 20 years ago, we told them what to do and how to do it. And they looked at us, they laughed at us, they mocked at us, they jeered us, called us all kind of names and everything else. Well, anyway, now they're all hooked up to vampire machines. They're living, they're existing. And this is what I'm trying to keep you from. You know, they're in their 70s, and they're just existing because they can't enjoy life. There's no quality of life with them whatsoever at all. They're taxing the system. They're literally leeching the system of every bit that it has. They can't pay the bills. They can't pay the bills. And there's many of you out there who just simply cannot pay the medical bills that this system is requiring. You simply can't do it. And just the other day, I just saw a mother and a father in California whose daughter went to school, amassed over $100,000 in student debt. She died, and you know what the system is doing? They are going after the mother and the father to pay $2,000 a month for the debt that was amassed by their child. Ooh-wee. Now, according to the system, remember, they got a hook and a jaw at every end. So chances are, if she did get these student loans, and her parents co-signed, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I think it's ridiculous. But I'm telling y'all, think about it. There is no, I got a lot of digressions in this video, but there is no debt forgiveness for education. And you think about this today, all this debt that many of you are paid in education. Let me tell you something. You went out there and you got a debt from education. You better get your butt out there and find a job that's going to equal the amount of education that you're receiving and work it out. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you better get out there and get to work. Because it ain't going away. And some way, somehow, unless you follow my advice, unless you start doing things the way I tell you to, it's going to be a mess. Again, back over here, people are sick. They're living, they're existing, but they're sick as hell. They have no quality of life whatsoever at all. What purpose is to live life when you're hooked up to an oxygen tank? You're hooked up to a vampire machine called a dialysis. They're sticking you with pins and needles and stuff, and all you do is sit up and lay up in a bed all day long. Or you sit in a wheelchair, look outside, watch the birds, the sun go up, sun go down, and you can't move under your own power. You can't. And people call me insensitive because I speak to people like this, when all I'm trying to do, if you pay attention to my voice, is to stimulate something inside of each and every last one of you. Now, whether you like the way I present things or not, or whether you understand the way I present things or not, the truth is, just by the mere example of my life, wisdom, knowledge, and experience proves that I'm right. Now, hey, you may not like the way I deliver the message. You may not like my tone or inflection of voice, but you need to educate yourself. As a matter of fact, you need to mature and grow up and get past all that. And you need to pay attention to application. You need to pay attention to success. You need to pay attention to what works and what doesn't work. Because right now, if it wasn't for this system supporting some of you, you be in bad shape. Most of you are only living because of the system. That's it. And everything that I advocate is taking everything you can out of the system, invested in yourself, invested in your homeland, meaning yourself and those who are around you, so that you will be able to live a quality life and not turn around and have to depend upon these bastards who have set this thing up for you to fail. Now, I know my speech is contemptible with a lot of people who simply just don't understand exactly what's going on today. And it makes no difference. Some people will hear, and many of you will not. And years down the road, whether it be 5 or 10 years down the road, some of you going to still be in the same old sorry place that you are right now. And you're going to see prosperity continually keep hitting us as time goes along. You're going to watch society decline. You're going to watch us continue to go up and prosper, be more self-sufficient, more independent. And you're going to watch our quality of life continue to increase while yours decreases. Some of you out there sitting out there living, I'm just going to leave it at that. But you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. I know the truth is just too hard for many of you to look at. And I know that the reason why that many of us don't do anything because change is too painful. Well, like it or not, change is coming your way.